Good evening, everybody. Evening, lay forced in the door. Nice to see you. Loads of things in front of me here to go through. But as usual, the old bookmarks. How you feeling? What's the story? What a crazy last few days, huh? You know, when that thing first happened in Magdeburg. I still can't pronounce it properly. Place in Germany. When that first happened, I knew it was the start of something. And now I just heard of another one. Well, I've heard of a few, but I mean, there was one of them it was either London or Birmingham, one or the other, a hit and run. And then there's been two here. There's been one up in Blanchardstown and one in Leopardstown that I've heard of. The Blanchardstown one I can confirm happened because even the mainstream media can't get away from that one, from reporting on that. But I was also talking to my uncle who has friends that live in, get it right, it's either Workington or Warrington. Warrington, that's the one. My uncle's good friends there. He's probably listening. Uncle's probably listening. I'll tell him to tune in tonight. But his friends in Warrington said that there was a hit and run there in that place as well through some sort of market, you know. So, like, you know, they wonder how they can keep such a good sort of cover for these things happening everywhere. I mean, it's so easy for me to find these stories now, mostly through X. I mean, talking on a broader scale to get more people informed about it. I mean, the mainstream's only covering one or two. Like, they covered the one in Germany, obviously. So there's video out of that and everything. But these ones springing up over here, you know. And I'm sick of these fucking having debates with people on Twitter, like just trying to inform them of basic law that's happening, that's being broke in this country. Like they're just completely ignorant to it, you know. Like me simply saying, well, can you say if you have them arrested? Can you name them? Like you arrested them, yeah. So name them. Like they did with us. Like when they arrested us, they had our names in the paper that night, you know, for simply recording police brutality or Garda brutality. And they're like, yeah, well, their first response to that is, but those people were charged with something. They were charged with something. This guy obviously still hasn't been charged with something, you know. So it's in their mind, it's still innocent until proven guilty. But that only goes one way in their head, you know. To me now, this country, it's you're guilty until you're proven innocent. That's the way I see it after like personally going through it myself. I can say that. I can attest to that. But yeah, you can get into debates with some fucking proper NPCs on Twitter. I haven't much been on I haven't been on the Blue Sky. Like probably pop onto it once every third day or something just to have a look. But all it is pictures of fucking cats and pro rainbow squad stuff. That's all I see on that Blue Sky. It's like a haven for them. Track it. Welcome. They really are. Like, I mean, even after being, think about it, they gave them 740 million. That's crazy money. And they saved them, and yet this is what we get in return. And the reason I said that story about the man arrested in Blanchardstown, like it released his name. Doesn't matter if Doesn't even matter if he isn't foreign. Still release his name. You arrested him because you obviously had the belief that he did something, or he's part of it, or he was there. You have something on him. Like they're still going through certain evidence for people from Coolock. They're still looking for CCTV evidence on those people, but they named them already. This guy, they're holding on to it. Like it kind of made me think of the Manchester airport incident. That's what made me think of, like, the hold on to it. Let the shit kick off for a bit. Store the tensions a little bit more, and then release the truth about what happened after the fact. What's up, Toffee Lad? Welcome. Hey, James. Welcome, lady. Yeah, a few. That was probably the main thing that I wanted to talk about. Was, if you see any story now springing up on any of our social media of incidences with cars, start sharing the fuck out of them. Like, make it a thing, because what was it? Both Leopardstown and Blanchardstown were trending earlier, and the things had like million. What was it? 1.7 million views the last time I looked at it. The more you can wake people's psyche with these sort of stories, this information, that's these things that are happening. What's up, Paul? Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were quick to do that. Sorry, they were quick to do that. All right, he gave himself in, did he? I just heard that they arrested him. I didn't know if he gave himself in or not. But even if he isn't, still named, like, that's a blatant. It's more than, like, you killed two people. Name and shame the dudes. I've seen it. I've seen people share it, but I don't know. I don't know if they had. Someone did share it saying that. But as an individual, I can't say if they did or not. Paul, I have one or two videos of your favorite coins. You know what I mean. Anyway, let's have a look at some bookmarks, shall we? Or if anyone has any interesting questions over there, I don't mind giving them a pop. Let's start with one. Let's start with one for Paul, because I did mention that one. I don't know if this is like some American, like, TV program, like reality program or what. I think it is, but your woman's just completely, shocked by what her fiance is doing. Lad that shared it goes as American as apple pie, right? This is American as apple pie.
Why do we bring that in the kitchen?
That's just
I thought that needed to be in the center of the house.
first we do it here, then okay.
I just don't understand why there's cow manure in the kitchen, to be honest.
Cow is considered God.
Yeah, but it's
because
poop on the kitchen table.
it has some antimicrobial properties. So this is why it is used to purify the things.
But it's
because
poop on the kitchen table.
it has some antimicrobial properties. So this is why it is used to purify the things.
What the? I try to be very respectful of their customs, their culture, and everything like that. But I draw the line, I draw my boundaries at this right here. This is disgusting.
अम्मा हर गेट पे गोमूत्र का छिड़काव कर दो.
हाँ जरा से कर दो. हाँ कर दे. शुद्धि हो जाएगी थोड़ी सी, है ना, उससे.
I'm just pouring few drops of cow urine.
Why?
A few drops, just few drops.
Why?
So I think it's the way he's saying it that is has that thought in the back of my head that's, you know, they're just acting out a little script, but you know, they do this sort of thing with the cow poo as well. There's something to do with the cow poo, isn't it? The fascination with cow poo.
I told you that it has some antimacular properties. This is why it is used.
Said it again. Anti-microbial. There's a word for it.
Okay. It has some antimacular properties. This is why it is used. Okay.
I don't want my house to
It
smell
will-
like
it
a
will go-
petting
It will
zoo.
go away. It will go away.
It really smells like cow poop in the house now.
I don't understand how.
Just shows you the complete, you know, the complete difference. I seen that one earlier. I thought you, Paul, yourself. Sanjay, good evening, sir. What's on you, even? Right, Sonia. So I had that on full screen, so I seen this. What's this? Cookie cow shit. It's like some blessing, and it has antimicrobial properties, something like that. Yeah, I knew there was some people out there that worship the old cows. Right, so yes, he has gone. Yeah, man. Like I've seen them. I've seen the Chinese do it as well, but in India it was they were mixing it with cow manure with dirt, you know, and making these like cookies with them and all. Mad stuff. You know, there's parts of the world that are really, really poor. Cow dung with mud. I'm sharing that one. I have to remember to stop sharing them between each one because there's certain things and YouTube's acting a mick, you know. Did people see? I put a community post up about it. I think your views on the soup kitchens. They're going to be putting in these certain rules and regulations around the soup kitchens in town. Let me share this. Like the journal are reporting on it now, but I seen this earlier, like a lot earlier. So there you go, at 5:10 today. I'm not going to stop for nobody. Dublin Soup Run operators react to potential on-street ban. Potential new bylaws may outlaw unregistered on-street food banks and soup runs in Dublin City. Now, I'd be thinking now, you know, with the amount of people that they've brought in, like, what do they expect them people to do now? You know, are they comfortable enough to make sure they're looked after? Like they're grand, they'd be all right. Now it's like we need to stop these soup runs in the main city centres and stuff like that. It's a crazy thing, isn't it? Proposals to outlaw an on-street soup runs for homeless people in Dublin City have been criticised by groups who provide services for those who desperately need them. The Irish Slimes reported today that new bylaws could put an end to on-street soup kitchens and food banks for homeless people in the capital over health and safety concerns. There's that health and safety. You know, since that came in, everything's really started to go to shit. Like, health and safety is just common sense. You do one little bleeding 2-hour course on it, wherever you have to be, whatever area you're in, you know. But this really was part of the kind of micromanagement of us, in a way. because they could push certain things through under health and safety, you know. A report by one social policy consultant for Dublin City Council 3 years ago linked the services to antisocial behaviour, such as drug dealing, and recommended that runs should be placed indoors and elsewhere. But yeah, now they want to get some bylaws in on this to stop. Oh, you just can't see that one. I shared the wrong page. I was talking about it there. I had it up on the main thing, and I still had your woman in mush up. Stop sharing that one. This one. So you have, there's the write up on it by the journal. And you've independent charities out there saying that they're not going to stop in reaction to a potential street ban on operating soup kitchens. It's crazy stuff. How you like to meet? Welcome. Yeah, seeing that video I shared earlier of your man in Galway. Like, it was something he said. Well, there was a lot of things that he said. Yeah. Actually, we'll watch him for people who haven't seen the video, but there's a lot of things that he says that I've been saying for, well, a good few of us here have been saying for the last few years, you know. And I also seen a video of an ex-Disney, not as high up as a CEO, but like a business partner of Disney, and I have that video bookmarked, and he's given personal testimony of what he witnessed at like the meetings. And basically, when they had these meetings at Disney and said everyone in this room is going to be done away with in 90 days of today, right? But before you go, you're going to train up all these Indians. There's one for you. You're going to train up all your replacements, basically. And it's like so many things now are getting linked into the Indian connection. But yeah, I have that video bookmarked. I'll go through it in a minute. But yeah, there's that right up there. Proposals to outlaw on-street soup runs for homeless people in Dublin City have been criticised by groups who provide services for those who desperately need them. Irish Lime's new bylaws could put an end to on-street soup kitchens for banks of homeless people in the capital over health and safety concerns. Health and safety concerns. You know, let's do the little trick. Control F. Health. Just the once. I thought they might have said that a few times. I do, like when I see them use like health and safety, it does make me think of when they're using sayings like peace and security, you know, that type of way. What else there I have just? A good few ones about the Irish things happening in Ireland anyway. But this one's out of the US, right? This one's out of the US, and it's like she's thinking exactly what we're thinking. It's like she has an epiphany, you know, as she's listening to your man talk. Now, watch this.
scientific and medical team behind you and with you, and I'm sure they will keep America safe. As far as your trip to India, Mr. President.
See, so what's he saying? What's he really saying? This is like at some serious meeting. The amount of press here and everything.
Where do we go from here?
That was like a look of resignation, you know. Oh yeah, like watch this woman.
Where do we go from here? As the US-India relations are concerned, and also, Mr. President, you are very famous in India.
It's that realization, isn't it? That moment of realization. That's what got me about that video. It's like, what the fuck? And I think the music as well. The music is like it was some game. The NPC music in the background is out some game. That's why I keep playing it. They probably copyright me on something stupid like that. On YouTube lately. But yeah, so that look of realization. If I turn down, I can play on. So what the fuck? Trying to, but no, can't do it. And the more they sort of force this. It's the initial plan just to keep people confused, you know? Or is there something really dark or more sinister going on? I know, yeah, it was bad audio. It's bad audio, yeah. Skyrim, that's the one. That's what it was out with, yeah, Skyrim. Well, but what made me, when I heard the Disney employee say this, it made me think that that's happening to Irish businesses as well. You know, like pension companies and all. Have a look, it's all under freedom of information. Pension companies, it's happening with them as well. It's all of them are being outsourced, and they're training them in. Ever since the Great Whooping Cough and people could work at home, they've been training people in from home. You know. And the chap in the video that I shared, actually, let's go watch. Have a bookmark, of course. He also has. I didn't know that he had a YouTube. I didn't know that he had a YouTube video. Like I just seen it on Twitter and start screen recording, you know. But I've since subscribed to him. So yeah, this chap here. Listen to this chap. Present. So I initially seen it here, right? The Unbroken Man on YouTube. The Unbroken Man on YouTube is this page. Look at this one.
A very busy promenade here in Galway, in Salt Hill actually, on this St. Stephen's Day. And it's a local tradition here to get out and get a walk on. And it's bloody well busy. I thought it would be quieter. And it's not that easy to walk along a place like this and have have a conversation about the state of Ireland and be able to do it without being very, very self-conscious. Because you might get a few eavesdroppers, you know, trying to listen in on what you're saying. They might be happy, you know. Galway is a very liberal city. So you might get the odd straggler saying, what's that guy saying? He sounds a little bit too right-wing for my liking. Maybe we'll get him fired from his job. Oh wait, he doesn't have a job, he works for himself. Well, maybe we'll get on to some people that employ him then and see can we block them from paying this guy, because this is a hateful conversation. anyone who's stopping the complete globalization of Ireland is a big meanie. And they need to go. They need to go. Do you ever see that on Facebook when, you know, there's an argument about immigration or something, and somebody just comes straight out with it, you know, oh, Ireland needs to close its borders. We're letting in too many people and there's too many dangerous people coming into the country. And then you get these basket case lefties, you know, oh, you're the one that's the problem. You're the one that's spreading hate. There's nothing wrong with people trying to flee dangerous areas, dangerous places. You're the one that has to go. We'll get rid of you and keep the immigrants. Yeah, I've heard that conversation a few times. So it's actually very, very dark now, even though it's a nice day. It's so in the dead of winter that the light is fading fairly rapidly. And I just want to share my thoughts on what I think might be in store for Ireland for 2025 on the, you know how it goes on the subject of the changes, the rapid demographic change. It really is, when I think about it, it's kind of sad to see what's going on here in Ireland with the fact that we're just a disappearing people now at the end of the day. I mean, I'm absolutely surrounded here by people from Asia, South Asia here on the prom. And, you know, I have no anger, no resentment towards them. As I walk past them, I see them taking selfies and family photographs. I don't hate these people at all. I have friends that are from India and Pakistan and stuff, and there's no resentment whatsoever. But my problem is that what's going to happen is, when I look at these people from South Asia, when I say South Asia, I mean India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, right? There's 2 billion of them. Okay, if you include, we'll say, a little bit of the diaspora or whatever. So we're looking at a quarter of the world's population. When I look at these people here, I know deep down in my heart and in my soul that Ireland is going to be theirs. It's going to be their country in a majority. They are going to be the main shareholders of Ireland in years to come. And you might think that, and not that many years either, by the way. And you might think that, oh, well, hold on a second, Ireland is a melting pot. There's, you know, East Europeans as well. There's Brazilians, there's Africans, and there's Middle Easterns. There's also Europeans, French and German and all that. Well, there is, but I think the largest share of, from what I can see, the biggest chunk of the population here in Ireland in a few years are going to be the South Asian. I just don't think that we can compete with the numbers coming out of that part of the world. If you look at the changes in population, or the population growth, we'll say. I don't want to slip down here. It's quite slippy. If you look at, we'll say, what the population of India was in the 70s, compared to what it is today, it's basically doubled.
It's crazy because when I first watched this, I always remember growing up, China was number one. China was always number one, but over the last few years, India's after overtaking them.
Much in population. I think in the 70s it was something like 700 million or something, and today it's like, I don't know, 1.2, 1.3 billion. Or is it 1.4? I think it's 1.4. I should have scrubbed up on my figures before I came out here. But yeah, there will be a time, and it's not that far away, where literally people from South Asia alone will be in as many numbers here as the native Irish person. As a people, as a native, we are not anywhere near the required birth rates of what it is to maintain our position, our percentage of the population. We're losing the battle here, big.
Like 1.2 or something.
Time, the native Irish, and a lot of us know it. You know, this is what a lot of people have wanted So they're getting what they want. It's not what I wanted. And it's not probably what you want if you're watching this video. And, you know, you're probably like me in that you're perfectly fine with a certain amount of immigration. I don't go there with that, as long as they integrate thing, because there's no such thing as perfect integration, really. Even the most integrating immigrant will still change the country, and they'll still have their own way of doing things. I don't care how much they integrate, you know. Even people with foreign parents, people who were born here, they're still not Irish. And I have friends who are not born here, or who were born here, that have parents from abroad, and they will fully agree with me. They say that they're not 100% Irish, but it is rapidly changing. It is rapidly changing. I was in Dublin a few weeks ago. I met some guys. I had my camera gear with me. I met some guys on the Lewis, and they were wearing stab vests. I said, "Do you really need stab vests?" And they said, "Are you joking me? We had knives pulled on us 3 times since Tuesday." And this was Thursday. So in 2 days, they had knives. The 2 lads had knives pulled on them 3 times. So Dublin is unbelievably, it has changed unbelievably. It's shocking. It is shocking how much that city has changed. How un-Irish it feels now. You know, I was saying to myself, like I said, Dublin has a couple of years left as an Irish city. And, you know, I changed that saying. I said to myself, Dublin only has a couple of years left as a European city. It doesn't even...
It's not, when you said that as well, like, that made me think 2 years left, even just as a European city, you know? Because it's going to be like places we've seen all over Europe, if it keeps going at this rate.
Feel European. Now, you know, as I was walking down Grafton Street and certain areas around there, certain little streets, and I looked at some of the shops and all that, and Dublin gets a hard rap. It gets a lot of stick, you know, from the rest of Ireland. Oh, fuck Dublin, I hate it, and all that stuff. But it really is a lovely city in many ways, and there's some beautiful architecture. There's some lovely buildings, lovely shops. There's a lot to do, and it has a lot.
I like myself there. That's what I do. You know, that was the original thing that got me going in. There was one of the old first videos that I did, first set of videos that I did, was different buildings in there, you know. And it's really picks up on them sort of things, sort of the same way of thinking.
A lot more to offer than Galway in many ways. I like Galway. You know, there's a lovely feeling of the sea in Galway that you don't often get in you don't get it in Dublin. There is the sea coming into Dublin, but you have to go out of Dublin a little bit to get to the sea and all that. But Galway, you just, you know, you pop out of the city 5 minutes and you're on the sea, and you can walk the prom in another 5 minutes. Well, it'll take you longer. But I think Galway has a lovely feeling of the sea, the west of Ireland, and it's beautiful. And it has that edge on Dublin. But at the same time, Dublin just has so much more than Galway. And it is so much more, as I said, nicer architecture, nicer buildings. Just it looks cooler in many ways than Galway. But the demographic shift around O'Connell Street, of course, Moore Street, I had to walk through Moore Street. It's shocking. It is shocking how it's changed. I just can't.
And you know, when he said this as well, it made me, not he's probably here watching my video right there, but it made me think of people I know in Dublin who you say this to about the certain streets in town, and it's like it goes completely over their head, you know? It goes completely over their head. They won't accept it. And any time I have the lads, not so, you wouldn't worry so much about the lads, but anytime I have any like lady friends in town, they will always be shitting it. You don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. It's that bad.
And get over it, how much it's changed. And I just couldn't believe it. There's a little bird here, a stone chat. Let me turn around the camera. And he is, and I say he, it's a male. It's very hard to see on this camera. It's a GoPro. This little bird is basically just hanging out with me here. He's just looking over at me, and his partner is here. The female is here as well. I think next year what's going to happen is, I think the shit is really going to hit the fan with the whole immigration thing and the IPAS centres, the violence. I mean, I saw the videos. You know, I've seen nothing but violent videos on social media lately. I go onto Twitter or X or whatever, and I see these videos. And yes, a lot of them are from America. But like, you just got to say to yourself, and on YouTube as well, there's, you know, I'm catching up on YouTube a bit, and you see different videos by guys and how cities have changed. How Lisbon has changed, how Paris has changed. Paris is no longer a French city. It's no longer.
So, see, when I watch videos like this, right, and I hear men like this chap. Sorry, someone put his name in the thing for me in the comment section. Unbroken Man, right? That's this chap's name. And he does say these things. I do think, you know, especially since he mentions a place like Paris, you know, that was always one thing. Like, it's one of the top 5 things that I would probably say I invested a lot of time looking at. I've told you before, I don't know what it is about France, but I always end up in France doing a few videos, doing loads of videos on France. And Marseille just, you know, I knew that place was, I knew Marseille was conquered at least 2 years ago. But, you know, when he says it, it's like, what is stopping, you know, what's stopping the vast majority of others from seeing that as well? You know? It's a pickle.
Longer European city. It's a basket case of violence, of criminals, street criminals. Why did we do this to Europe? Europe was already diverse. We don't need Middle Easterns and Africans and South Asians to make it better. Europe was Europe. We don't need it to be a Bangladesh, an Indian place. And I know there's some lovely people from these areas, but there's no denying the fact that benefit claimers, people seeking free stuff from the government, from the Irish government, there's absolutely no argument that'll go against the fact that the immigrant isn't overrepresented in the people claiming these things. It's so painfully obvious. And it's the same with, you know, crime as well and violence. Like Leo Varadkar came out that time and said, it's very wrong and hateful to assume that immigrants are overrepresented in crime. And like, you cannot bring people in from areas, from countries that have way higher criminality, way higher levels of assault on women than Ireland does. But you just cannot bring people in from these countries and expect it not to raise the crime in Ireland. It's the equivalent of having your dinner and taking out your salt shaker.
Although, you know, it's one thing I do say when you've particularly Irish accounts coming after you, you know, these people with tricolour coming after you, saying, sure, well, we have Irish criminals, you know. It's that type of thing that makes me go, yeah, but why the fuck would you? Why are you willing to just allow more to come in? You know, it's me first thought. Why are you so willing to turn a blind eye and allow more to come in?
As shaking a whole load of salt over your dinner with your salt shaker and saying, you know what, that isn't going to make my dinner any saltier. That's literally the bullshit that muppet, that Leo Varadkar, he is such an absolute idiot. It's like what he said about the pandemic, you know, oh, COVID is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. You know, this is the kind of bullshit that we've had to listen to, this kind of total lies from these people. So they're trying to push a square peg into a round hole. I'd actually say it's more like a rectangular peg.
They probably fucking, since you mentioned that now, they'll probably do a copyright check on that one. Second you fucking mention it. What y'all saying? Jay's just a realistic bastard. I've seen actually 2 videos recently of 2 countries in Africa. You know, and there's all these prisoners running free and stuff. Let's see if you see them. Ulaseas. Those are random stuff, but I'm gonna get the Irish ones out first. I can't scroll through this at the same time. Here's one actually. This I don't know this lad's name. He's an Irish lad. He does green screen with videos. You know, from all over the world. He does green screen videos. But this one he was covering Canada in Toronto. Don't know if people seen this stuff in Toronto that's going on. When they're just basically robbing jewelry shops.
It's Canada. Bring it, become it. What do they mean? What do they mean? Does anyone know what they mean by that? It's crazy because Canada, well, there was a stereotype in Canada, like that Canada was this really safe place. Everyone's really friendly. You know, the average Canadian, really friendly. There was never any problems, you know.
The police is outside.
That's what I think of, or I used to think of when you thought of Canada. Real friendly and welcoming. And the thing is, they were too welcoming, and they still are under that Trudeau fella. Too welcoming. If they can just go into city centres like that and just, you know, fleece the place. I think I shared a short recently of a split screen between America. Or was it America? No, it was Great Britain. I think it was England. So it's a split screen of England and Japan. And 2 of them are iPhone stores, you know. And in Japan, it's like there's no wires on the phones or anything to stop people robbing because no one does. But you could just literally walk out the store with, you know, brand new iPhone. And on the English one, it's they're smashing up the iPads off the things and just walking out of stores with them. It's kind of like that. That's what it reminded me of.
That seems to be disappearing very quick. And it's so...
They emptied that jewelry store, you know? Emptied her. Does anyone in my chat ever come across a man called Alex Collier? He's a bit out there now, a bit extreme, but down on his travels, looking into things. Did you ever come across Alex Collier? I watched the video on earlier. Trudeau, yeah, Justin Trudeau. He's one of Schwab's young leaders. Is the old Justin Trudeau. Any video I've seen of him lately, he's just like he's getting starmatry. He's getting booed. Into like police escorted vehicles. You know, can't walk down the street, that fella. I really think he's the bastard child of Castro. So if I put them side by side. They use certain people. You know? They're all let me think of it. Say it again. shared, not complacency, but they all have like a shared trauma. The word begins because it begins with C, but I just can't think of it. And Trudeau and the likes, they're all part of that. Trump was in this fuck off. Everything's from said to rock movement. Trump is one of them. For fuck's sake. No, we were told that they will put people forward as the savior. And the fact that like there are certain things that like what links certain individuals. Like I found the story of the story recently of Bill Gates asking Trump that he wanted to meet with him. You know, Gates asking him to meet with him. So when I do hear stories like that, it kind of makes you go, nah, sure, they're all in on it. You know, they're all in on it. Or the reason that it's been dragged out or going on the way everything's unfolding is because they have snuff videos on all these people. You know, that's what explained to me all of those. I don't call them Democrats in America anymore. I call them Diddycrats, because all those people that came out in support of the wicked one, El Hyena Harris, all the ones that came out in support of her were the likes of the people that went to these parties. You know, so they've been compromised and forced into them coming out and supporting these individuals. Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens. That's if they don't, with all the build up around, particularly a lot of people keep in touch with what's happening in the US. Well, the build up, you think they'll probably, before he's officially given power in some way, that they want something to really kick off. There's a lot of that going around. That rather than, any of them being held accountable for anything, that they start something that affects every human being on the planet that's paying attention in some way. They have many different cards that they've played. What God to say what you mean? Oh, welcome, Bon. So I didn't see you come in there. Welcome. I might seem a little bit tonight. I'm absolutely knackered. And that's slang YouTube before you kick off. What else do I have here on Ireland? I just see, do you know what I see a lot of videos of? Misbehavior on trains, like public transport. And there's so many videos out there. And it's just a constant, a constant flow. Here's this guy. I'm gonna bring up your man, Dr. Umar, again, right? Only because I feel it's quite significant because of his approach to like explaining things. So have a look at this. You know, this was how people became dead wide to LeBron James, was because of like Instagram lives. You know, like back they used to just flaunt away. You know, with who they truly are. And people remember LeBron James was on a live Instagram with Diddy saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Do you know what I mean? But here's Dr. Umar on one of his lives. Look at this.
Logan Keating is interested in the age of Aisha. I thought you were interested in Christmas. You've got a big cross next to your name, but you're not interested in Jesus. You're not interested in Christmas. You're interested in Aisha suddenly. So, which basically is because you're interested in.
Are you ready? Remember what I said? I said it a lot in like a video, maybe one or two videos, maybe 2 weeks ago. But the Islamophobia.
In bigotry. You're interested in discrimination. You're interested in Islamophobia. Because the reason you brought Aisha
Ding,
up
ding,
is not
ding,
because
ding.
you wanted to know about her age. You brought this discussion into a discussion on Christmas, where I'm saying Happy Christmas to the Christians. You brought the age of Aisha up. That shows that you are an Islamophobe. You are an extremist. The age of Aisha was 18, by the way. Was 18.
She was 9. Most scholars say, or not most, but majority say 6 to 7, but the majority say 9. So he's talking now was Victor. Remember, these are allowed to lie and deceive. You know, someone will put the name and what it is that he's doing there in the chat, but exactly what he's doing there with these videos. Takia, is it? Something like that. Someone put it in the chat. What's up, Frankie, man? What's the story? I've seen your name there somewhere. What's up? Oh yeah, you seen that Trump got mentioned? Yeah, I seen him. I seen him there with the wall and all that. Takia. So they're allowed like lie and deceive, you know, to non-believers.
When she was married with the Prophet Muhammad. There is a PhD done on this, okay? And this is not the
So there's that thing again. It's kind of, do you remember the other video I did on the professors? Be a woman that went to, was it York College or something? Or Yale or something in England. And they were doing that. But the thing that they were trying to play it off with was if you don't abide by what we're saying, then it means that you're less intelligent than us. So he just did there to that guy in his live chat.
Topic of my discussion. If you would like to learn more about this, which I know you don't want to learn, you're just here to annoy me. But if somebody wants to learn about the age of Aisha, there is a video of mine on YouTube which says Age of Aisha by Dr. Umar Al-Qadri. It's 40 minutes long, and I have discussed in detail with various different angles, perspectives, how Aisha's age was not 6 or 9. That is quoted in a narration. It was actually 18, approximately 18, 19. Okay, so let me see. Your election posters are still up in court.
So yeah, so they're getting a good use out of this chap, this Dr. Umar. They're getting long enough out of him. What are you saying there? Hang on. Is Crazy Lady Jane in as well? If you are, welcome. Yeah, I can't like quote the exact reading that it's from, but yeah, it was. I thought it was 9. Like a lot of people were leaning towards 9, but sure 6, 9. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck? That's not right. Which, like, what? In what way? In what way? I tried to, but there's so much going on here, in just in Europe alone. So much, man. And with obviously the occasion over the last month, Christmas over the last month, it's been quite hectic on the home front. But was there anything like specific you wanted to mention? And I'll let you know. They have 9 different levels, do they? 9 different levels. We need to all stick together. And I'm just having a look through now what are the ones I have faced there. Yeah, can lie in the sea to the unbelievers. Guess it. Right. I have to learn how to snap these 2 windows together on the laptop. Here was a call in poll done by the BBC, and they were asked, "Is multiculturalism working?" I think the result was
this one. We do have to bring you our vote because you have been voting in the text and online vote today. So here is the result. Is multiculturalism working? Here is what you told us. 5% of those of you who voted said yes, it is. 95% of those of you who voted this morning said no, it is.
So why such the big fucking billions and billions spent on pushing it? Even their own, but they even get called out in their own polls that they do. He did fake them attacks, yeah. Either fake them attacks or it was his own people that didn't like the fact that he would, go along with a certain rainbow crew or the ideology of a certain rainbow crew, you know what I mean? So his own people set him up, one or the other. Married her at 6, consummated at 9. There you go. First interpreted Islam. Yeah, they stick together. Yep. There's someone else mentioned it there. There we go. The practice of dissimulation and secrecy of religious belief and practice. And I noticed a lot more videos popping up of, like, you'd see the odd one of them praying in certain areas, but it's getting more and more invasive. Like at the top of, where did I see one there the other day? It's at the top of like a tube station in London. And he's praying at the top of the stairs, at the top of the raising stairs, the escalator. That's just like showing dominance. That's all that is. It's like they're literally ready. They're ready to fucking. They're ready for the go ahead, And we have said a few times. Well, I've said, I'll speak for myself here, right? I don't know if anyone else in, but I've said a few times that such attacks that happened in Pear Street and stuff, like, but that's one individual that did that. Say if 20 of them or 30 of them want to go on a rampage one night, or they get the orders, they could do a lot of damage. That's just 20 of them. There's thousands of these individuals. And remember, in their head, they think they're right. They think they're on the right side for that belief. I remember seeing them. I remember, they did a few shows, like, I don't know if people watch it, like Border Control. The likes of Australia. Did you ever watch them videos? Where they checking people in the airports and stuff. There's one in Dublin airport. This guy's fucking. I said we should clown this fella because he's just, it's who you want checking. Can you see that? Let me see if you can see it. Do you see the guy at the airport? Yeah. Let me know in chat. Do you see the guy at the airport before I play it? Because I don't know. It's something acting up there. Oh, I do watch. The what's it? Is it just called passport control or something? I think it's just called a border security. And yeah, the Australian ones and they are strict. I know how strict they are. But even though I declared everything, they still took me out to the side, and I was in with them for like 40 minutes. They took me mobile phone. They took me mobile phone. I went back into a back room with it. And they checked like every single section, my shoes, my socks, everything, before I could leave the airport in Australia. That's how hard it was for me to get in there. But this guy here, right? Check this guy out.
From Paris. And were you anywhere before Paris?
We were in South Africa.
What part of South Africa?
In Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you book your ticket to come to Dublin?
Sorry?
When did you book your ticket? What?
We booked the ticket. We tried to book last week.
Okay.
We couldn't because the flights were a bit expensive. So we got it this morning at the airport.
And when did you try to book it last week?
When was that? When we were buying the stand.
If you
No, they didn't. Hugh, no, they didn't. No, they didn't go that far. But they went pretty far. They went far enough. No, my shoes. They're checking me bleeding shoes, man.
do you not know the answers? You have to keep. Is this your wife?
Cheese, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Because we're using it.
when did you try to book it last week?
Last week, on the first or something.
It's a simple enough question. So you tried to book it on the 4th of July. And why did you wait till this morning to get it? Did you flew from Johannesburg to Charles de Gaulle today?
Yes,
Today? That's okay. That's the answer. That girl will talk to you. How did you pay for your ticket from Johannesburg to Charles de Gaulle?
We use the card.
Whose credit cards?
My wife's.
Your wife's card?
Yes.
Okay, where'd you get the card?
From the bank.
From what bank?
Barclays.
Okay.
Barclays account.
Yeah, and when did you get it?
Getting the card.
When did you get the card? When? How long has she got the card?
We've had it for a while.
For how long? You come on up to this sort of seat up here, my place. Up here, buddy. Up here. Come on up here. Now, what's the purpose of your visit to Ireland?
We received engineering contractors.
You're a civil engineer contractor?
Yeah. So we were supposed to have a meeting in Paris, and they moved it. So we thought maybe to just.
How do you mean they moved it?
They changed the dates because we.
And when did they change the date to?
We only knew about it when we got there.
Yeah, okay, but like, when was the meeting supposed to be on?
It was supposed to be on tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, but they
And when
changed
did you
the
find
meeting.
out that they changed it?
This morning when we go to France.
And you're not angry that they changed the meeting like that? You're at the flying all the way to Paris and they changed the dates.
We have been
Yeah, but that's the type of that's what you need, you know. That's what you need, man. People like himself. I said, clone that man and get 200 of them in the airport there, you know. Oh, in the US, I've seen that they've been handed fucking cards with what were they calling it in Springfield, Ohio? They were calling it the gold card, or the you know these Haitians had these cards, and it was just like endless supply of money on it for them when they were going and getting shopping and all this stuff. And treat the local people the complete opposite, while using the middle class, the funds of the middle class. Well, I'm sure there are some. I'm sure there are some bad Irishmen. Mr. Martin, for one, really bad Irishman. Is that the guy in the airport? Is it? Clown that man. Like it was so. You're saying that there about JFK. There's been 2 times when I've went to England. One time when I went to Spain. I've been to Spain a few times, but once when I went to Spain, and one time I went to Australia. It was, I think it was more so times when I had a full face beard. The beard seemed to be a thing, I suppose, for them. Something that they watch out for at airports, huh? Jet black beard. And I'm talking to them like, what's the story here? Why do I always get fucking yanked in? Because there was 2 or 3 times where it was in a row. It was happening to me. Even once when we got a boat somewhere, we got a boat to England, and even when we got into England, it happened to me then as well. Into my own separate room, asked these certain questions. Like it really, the stuff at the airport really got magnified by 9/11. 9/11 was that introduced the TSA and stuff like that. Coming in at the same time as like new health and safety laws, micromanaging everything they were. And when it comes to the likes of border control, like it seems like they've just fully flipped. They're doing the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. Fully flipped on everything. Since 9/11, they were telling you that, this is where the terrorists were coming from, but they were coming from the Middle East. But that's where they're bringing them all in from. A good majority of them. Make it make sense, please. Just make it make sense. Don't make no goddamn sense. Here's a random one, right? Here's a random one, but this story came out of the US here. This was a story I seen that came out of the US earlier in Florida. As I knew it was some of them would act bad if you didn't give them a tip, right? But this Brianna Avello doesn't say her nationality or anything like that. I don't think. By looking at it, it's like South American, right? Somewhere in South America. Was she bleeding? Was that upset that she only got a $2? Let me take that comment off there. She was that upset that she only got $2. She didn't get $2. One or the other. Is she murdered your woman? What?
Osceola deputies have arrested 22-year-old Brianna Alvelo and booked her into the county jail. They say she and a man broke into the Riviera Motel in Kissimmee this past Sunday and attacked a person in one of the rooms, all because Alvelo didn't get a big enough pizza delivery tip. Deputies say they found a victim with several stab wounds. First responders rushed the victim to
Mad stuff in there. Sorry for anyone there that has it's photosensitive with the lights. You know, that can fuck some people over, but it's just mad stuff going on in the world. Like murdering someone over a bloody tip they didn't get. What? Yeah, no, that's exactly me thought, man. I was, what the fuck is going on? So a tracker, when you said am I keeping up with things in America yet? Stories like that, the odd story like that, where it's like, what the fuck? Free to bet, free to bet. 17. Well, I keep seeing 17. Keep seeing 17 lately, particularly around the main man at the moment, Mr. Elon Musk. Keep seeing 17 around that door. Every time I see him, there's something to do with 17 around it. It's weird. That's my birthday as well. 17. Yeah, it's one thing I always say about like when people talk shit about American stuff. I said at least they fucking can defend themselves, you know, in certain states. Or did someone say to me earlier that it was all states that it's legal? It's just you have to go. Someone might be a bit more stricter. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I like the way they can just, you know, what bigger way to deter someone from robbing you and your family in your own dwelling than holding a gun out, you know? Your move, pal, you know? How are you? Welcome. How are you? Anything so important? That country is Babylon. It's interesting. Heard that a few times. That America is Babylon. The politics, not that crap. I worked there years ago. They're nuts. I don't know. Like the first thing I think of when I think of America is I always kind of admired, you know, I had this thing built up in my head about America. Kind of admired it. Land of the free and home of the brave. No, man. What's that, Paul? Boy, a delivery guy. People need to stop getting strangers on Facebook coming to their homes. Yeah, I've seen videos from Paris. Just gone back to Paris now, but I've seen videos out of Paris of them doing that, delivery guys, and they did it to some woman, two of them. Knocked on her door, pretended they had something, and then charged in, you know, essayed the poor woman in her own apartment. You could hear her like screaming and all. It's fucking horrible. Yeah, it's no bigger deterrent, is it? You'd be like you'd be like Rittenhouse to go that step further and take the evil type of people off the face of the planet. You know, those evil people. The old Peter Foils. Babylon, David Gray. No, it wasn't David Gray. Was it David playing? Like he's turned out to be. I hear this saying going around now of like we've all heard of clickbait, right? But like and share and view horse type of thing, right? And there are people out there, and there are people that are YouTubers that admit that's like actually the biggest kick of making videos is getting as many likes and all that sort of stuff. And a chap called David Wilcox. Now there's a name some of you probably know, right? David Wilcox. He has since turned out to just be that like this sort of milking cash cow, where he started out as a way of enlightening people, you know. He used to always talk about Babylon, David Wilcox. That was one of his topics that he would cover. But yeah, no, David Gray saying so. I wouldn't be able, I can't think of the lyrics. Otherwise it'd give you a little part of it there. But Friday night. There you go. That's a good. It's just born in England, but I've lived here for more than half my life. It's good to have you. Delivery guys, all up dodgy. I was even up in the Omni Centre. I don't know if people know the Omni Centre up in Ballymun, and even just like the ex had to go up and get some money out of the bank machine, and there was like 4 of them hovering around outside, you know. And it's just, I could say it'd be intimidating, because the Omni Centre would have, you know, a lot of shops, like beauty shops and things like this. See a lot of teenage girls going in there and stuff. And imagine 4 of them. At least 2 of them were delivery guys, because 2 of the bikes had the box on the back of it, you know. But even me standing there was felt a little bit intimidated. You know? Yeah, some people might say making you a bit too cynical, but I can't lie about how it made me feel. You know? Aren't we meant to be open and to listen to how people feel about things that are happening in the world? Or is that only for you know, the Eddie, what's his name, that comedian? Eddie something. For his type, is only for his type that we should be all ears and eyes for. Babylon Berlin. I'll give that a look-see. That means stage name, very stage name. They are fake names, never use names. Yeah. Well, just the even initial story that you hear of Babylon is fascinating. You know, and they all had the same language and all wanted to, you know, said we'll reach up into the heavens. No one can stop us. The original story of Babylon's absolutely fascinating. I've always been fascinated by it. Did they? I've seen them do one outside, because they flashed up. Oh God, what do you call them things now? A zuggerot, is it? Someone will correct me if I'm not saying that right. But a zuggerot, right? And it's these old ancient buildings. And there's one in Iraq, and they flashed that up when they were doing a ritual at CERN, which I found a bit weird. You know, yeah, they were flashing multiple images up, but they used it's called a zuggerot, which is it's like an ancient way of of making a really secure, like bunker building. like how the ancients did it, you know. Still standing to this day. Actually, Saddam Hussein refurbished it, like redid it, and like it was around the same time he claimed he was the reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar. So take from that what you will, but yeah, he refurbished it. Pretty sure it's a ziggurat, but if someone knows for sure, put it in the chat. But I think it's called the ziggurat. Ziggurat or ziggurat. Cool looking buildings. I'll check them out. Don't know how I got onto Saddam Hussein, but this one I found a bit weird. Let me actually see where it took place. Some people are saying South Africa in the thing. People are saying South Africa in the comment section of, but I don't know for sure if it is South Africa, right? Oh, hang on. Share it first, huh? That'd be handy. I'm sure there's a really, you know, suppose because it showed us. What's that? Oh, it's making me think of reading biblical passages and all. The knowledge of good and evil. You know, that's what Babylon shows you, the knowledge of good and evil. Yeah, we'll check this one out. Yeah, share screen. So I've been breathing down the mic a bit. This one. I think he's an Uber driver or a taxi driver or something. And it's this year, this 24th, Christmas Eve.
Okay, take. Where's your money? Take it. Whatever you take. Give your no worries. Take money. No, my brother, no money. Here, take whatever. Take. Which money? No worries. I give everything. What's the pin for fun? I give everything. What's your phone? No, my brother. What's the pin? What's your phone? 6413. And what is in the boot? You take it. Check. What is open the boot? Open it. I'm gonna open it. You wanna fucking die? No, don't. What do you have in your pocket? Nothing. Say, if I have, I give you.
Sounds South African, doesn't it? The accent. The fuck you got in your pockets?
Say, my brother, if I have, let me see. Nothing. Take everything.
Checking if he has a necklace and everything, huh?
Salam. You Muslim? Yeah. So you Salam.
Like, rob a dude and then say that at the end, huh? I found that really weird video.
No stress, my guy, man.
Robbed of everything. Let's see what he's saying here. Ziggy Stardust, Ziggurat. Is that because I said Ziggurat? Yep, the north side. Yeah, there are a few people said it. Ziggurat. Go and check that out. Go and check them out. They're quite interesting buildings. Is this Robert Cephers? Probably not saying that right, but nice one. So that's what I mean. Keep sharing this information. It's the least we can do. Aren't they the ones who had the Epic of Gilgamesh? I seen. He said his name there, Gilgamesh. I seen a video. Must be about 9 years ago. But even then, it was from a good few years beforehand. And apparently they've uncovered a coffin with like a perfectly preserved Gilgamesh. I'll try root it out. Not now, because I'd go off and start looking for it, and then I'd be back and forth. But there's have a look at that. It was an interesting video not too like about 8 years ago about Gilgamesh. You found it, Movo. Cork, what's this? Cork people. I can't piss out Cork people. Cork people can talk them out their ass simultaneously. Gifted breed. Yeah, it's a good name. Yeah, it was. That's the vibe I got. The way they surrounded them, checked if you had a necklace and everything. Like fleeced, dry, just short of taking the shoes off the chap. I don't like everyone in this video. Right, let's see what's. So, there's a few more. I think there's a few more about Ireland here as well. I keep saying it and then you go off, but try and make more connections back here. Like see when Fine Gael do posts like this. Like I said, Twitter's their little ranting place. They use it all the time. Here's Fine Gael sharing an award by the European movement, right? A year in the European movement, Ireland, June, had the honour of awarding President of European or Eurogroup, Mr. Donoghue, let's just say, as European of the Year in 2024, sponsored by PCW Ireland. Like this guy here, this is one of the Bilderbergers that I was telling you about. This guy's a Bilderberger. What an awkward man. Every time I see him or hear his voice, it's just awkward. But this guy here is a Bilderberger. And for people that don't know what Bilderberger is, they're like another arm of the octopus, in a sense of like the WEF and things like that. We also have the Bilderbergers who meet. I'm not sure if it's once every year or every couple of years, but they do all meet up. Who's the chap now? I have to scratch my brain with some of these ones, but Jim Mars. If people haven't heard of Jim Mars, go and look into Jim Mars. And he used to follow them wherever they went, wherever they were having meetings. They used to have them in really elaborate places like castles in different countries like Switzerland and Germany, and basically what they're doing is when they meet up, they're outlining everything that they want to happen. They will just tell you it's just kind of like a Davos type of thing where it's more orientated towards preservations of foods and trades and stuff like this. But they're the scriptwriters, the likes of the Bilderbergers, and we have our very own one here in Mr. Donoghue. Coveney's one as well. Like there's, I mentioned a man Luke Radowski. Mentioned him before. Who? Jim Mars has since passed away. Jim Mars passed away a long time ago, a good few years ago. But Luke Radowski was another fella. He's like Polish American, I think. And he was young when he started, like he was 17, 18, tracking down this Bilderberger group anywhere they went. He also looked into Bohemian Grove, but Brodowski has Simon Coveney and Sutherland on a video together walking through. I think it's Berlin. It's either Berlin or Brussels. I think off the top of my head, but yeah, he's another Bilderberger. You know, but to try to inform people about these certain individuals, because like these are the ones telling us how we should live our lives and all. You know, he doesn't think of the Irish as like one nation. Now in his head, we're Europeans now. You know, this is why he's been drilled into him that we're just Europeans. We're all Europeans now, and that's what they want to drill into the people, using people like that. And he's always tied into this chap's always tied into some financial, you know, financial overseeing, Minister for Finance, stuff like this. So you're talking pretty high-ranking positions of power. Yet they go off, and Bilderberger meetings aren't allowed. You're not allowed to have like cameras or any. There's nothing allowed into their meetings. See, so we know that there are certain individuals that do meet up. Yeah. Then when you explain to people, some still think it's just a conspiracy that these people are meeting up in secret places and writing out the script for the next 5-10 years or whatever it is, whatever pattern they do it in. I know they've had something in the works for hundreds of years, you know, if not longer. But when I see the likes of Donoghue and Harris, I know what their job is. Their job is to consolidate power even more and more, you know, or as much as they can to a point. And then they'll say, all right, we're switching the parties now at the top, you know, and then it'll just continue to get tighter and closer to that consolidation of power. Europe being, what was it someone said? Europe being the final countdown. That's what someone said. Yeah. I think someone sang that, didn't they? Want to consolidate power smaller and smaller and smaller. And people like Pascal will be sitting at the top of his cake. What are you saying in chat? Let's have a look see. Eat the bugs. Yeah. Eat the bugs. Now, they are very ugly. I do liken them to the Skeksis. Some people might know what that is. Some people might not. But they're from that movie, The Dark Crystal. I think they genuinely are something like that. You know, they make out that there is a good side to them, but it's like been split, or they split from it somehow. But I do liken them to the Skeksis, you know. Even turning on each other just to stay at the top of the pyramid, or you know, at a certain height of the pyramid. Ugly inside and out there. Oh, what did you say? Exactly, yeah. Do you know? Giving each other trophies. Bang on. A tracker. Here's something about here's one about Panama. It's an 8-minute video. Probably won't watch the whole thing, but he says some things in this. He's called does anyone know Michael Eon? Chap called Michael Eon. He's a bald fella. He's been trying to keep an eye on, you know, stuff happening in Panama. Oh wait, chat is flying there for a second. there's this guy here, this Michael Yon. Now he does say he even says if Trump doesn't come down here and have these flags removed, then you know he's talking bullshit. You know, of course we know, but I mean he mentions that in it, which I thought was quite important. Yeah. So he's been down here for like the last 10 days or so. Check this out. Oh, someone addressed me there. What's that? This chap, this Michael Yon fella. Check this out.
Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas. That train you hear is actually the Panamanian Railroad that goes from to each side of the canal. And behind that, you see a ship. There's a ship going through Miraflores Lock. So it just happens to be lucky timing. We started this recording when the train's going by. And then behind that is Miraflores Lock, which is a main, well, they're all main locks in Panama, but the lock in the Panama Canal. But we're in Fort Clayton. Fort Clayton is the old U.S. Army South headquarters. We're sitting in it right now. And it's here because that's Miraflores Lock and that's the Panama Canal. And there goes the train, which we've actually taken that train. And actually, Masako Ganaha actually got up on top of the train. They allowed her to do it and put a camera on the top, which will shock the people in Panama to know that. It's incredible footage. But anyway, the reason that we're here, yesterday we were in Argentina, but then President Trump made his statements. If you hear a bunch of birds, I love these birds. This is Panama. And they're all around us. And so what we're in is Fort Clayton. Now they call it Ciudad de Saber, City of Knowledge. And right up the street from us, a couple 100 meters, 300 meters maybe, is a little park. It's the Yuval Harari, that creep from World Economic Forum. You know, they got some of his book stuff up there.
I thought that was interesting there because I hadn't heard that name in a while. Jerry mentioned Yuval Noah. He said the name Yuval Noah. And that's the guy who, I think I've shared him once or twice on community posts, but your man Russell Brand is like enamored, smitten with this Yuval Noah, right? And he's basically like a little lapdog for Klaus Schwab. But he has this place in Panama, beside the Panama Canal, where they wanted to build like some sort of futuristic human community. You know, that's and this I didn't know this guy was covering it. He's covering it a few years. You know, I came across this video earlier and I was like, fuck no. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. You will know it. But check out what else he says about this place.
We're in Wokeville right here. This is right behind me is the OIM, or in English, the IOM. This is the main engines of the invasions, right? So we see people like Jack Posobiec now, whom I've offered many times to take to the Panama Canal. I just offered him again like 30 minutes ago. Sent him a voicemail on Christmas to basically get his ass down here. Actually, I said it in those words. And so the bottom line is Jack Posobiec is saying that, you know, that the Panama is the one keeping it open, that the Darien Gap open, but Panama definitely wants to keep it closed. I've been down to the Darien Gap. I've spent months down there in the Gap, in the jungle and that sort of thing. We're out there all the time. I know all the main Indians out there, the Embra Indians, and those that the invaders go through mostly the Kuna Indian Territory and Embra Indian Territory. But the bottom line is these are the guys that keep it open. And if Trump is actually going to close the Panama, if he's going to actually close the Darien Gap, he needs to close these guys. Don't go after the fires, go after the arsonist. The arsonist is these guys, and they are paid for IOM or the OIM, depending on your language. All around us is over 60 NGOs and IGOs and other nonprofits, right? This is UN headquarters right here. This is it. This is our old U.S. Army South headquarters is now.
Yeah, username. That's the one. That's him. Little weasel of a guy, isn't he? A little shell of a man.
The invasion headquarters. This is now, if Trump is deadly serious about closing and stopping the invasion, this will be closed. Those flags will no longer be there. If those flags are still there in a few months, then Trump is not serious. This place is very easy to close, right? We have to cut off our funding for starters, right? And by the way, when you come around here with cameras, it freaks them out. They get very aggressive with you. But today's Christmas Day, and so most of the creeps are not here. But the bottom line is this: they have literally taken over our headquarters. They have, the NGOs, the United Nations and others have literally taken over our U.S. Army South headquarters, right? And so, again, if Trump is going to close the invasions, we will know if he's deadly serious if he closes this down. This is the whole theater headquarters here, Fort Clayton.
Even when he was saying it, he was still kind of struggling to say it, wasn't he? You know? But I thought it was quite profound because flags are important, you know? Whether you like it or not, flags are very symbolic and important. And when he said that about, he turned around and he pointed at these two. One's a UN flag, you know? But he's still sort of, if Trump's going to do this, I hope, you know?
We will know if he's deadly serious if he closes this down. This is the whole theater headquarters here, Fort Clayton. This is old Fort Clayton. Now they call it Ciudad de Saber, City of Knowledge, right? And so let's walk just a little bit. So this is IOM right here. This is IOM. This is their headquarters. If those flags are still here in a few months, then Trump is...
He's talking bullshit, you know? That'd be this man's sort of definite if Mr. Trump is for real or not. Is if these flags are there next week or not. Or not next week, whenever he gets in. Or that's like I said, even if they bloody, you know, let it get to that case of where they do let him in, if they haven't started something off that's gonna take or affect a good majority of the population of the world. That's just my thinking leading up to him getting inaugurated on the 20th, you know.
Not telling the truth. Because if you're going to shut down the invasions, going after Panama doesn't do any good whatsoever. It does zero good. They'll just come through Canada. They'll come through Bahamas, which they're already doing, both of those places. It just shows that he's not serious. They'll come through Nicaragua. They'll come through every other way. They'll come through Mexico. You know, going after all these guys and saying we're going to put tariffs on everybody is just nonsense. You're not going after the actual arsonist. The arsonists are us. For instance, Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, came down to Darien. I was down there, and I waited for 4 days for him, and he brought more money to open up the routes more. That was our government. Meanwhile, you got people like Jack Posobiec coming around saying, the Panamanians are doing it. No, that's not what's happening. And Jack, you know that. You know that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. I'm going to show you the sign up here up front soon for the City of Knowledge. Here we go, old Fort Clayton. This is the old U.S. Army South headquarters. So the people that were stationed in Panama in the old days, they will know this well. Remember, I've said many times over time that I think Colombia will become involved in this. And now I think you'll probably start to see people say that, because in order to create the Panama Canal, this opened in 1914. The Panama Canal is to my left. That is Miraflores locks. You can see a ship going through right there.
I'm sorry, I thought that video ended. But hey Frank, sorry. For all that, how are you? Am I back now? Can you hear me now? The chat, it's like a delay on the chat, but hopefully I'm back, am I? Cool. Yeah, what was I saying there? Yeah, like with the Trump thing, like getting the 2 attempts on him and stuff like that. You know, that plays into the fact that he's someone that's been put forward. You know, because I don't believe in coincidence, and I haven't in a long time. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. And it's just like it's some sort of script that's unfolding before us, you know. But while it's unfolding, you know, they're kind of rubbing it in our faces. The evil bastards are just rubbing it in our faces. Yeah, don't believe in coincidence anymore. Why do you just despise little Englanders? They're alright. Yeah, that was Panama there. Check this out. I shared a community post about a police officer, a trans police officer, Sky Morden, right? But check this out, man. This freaked me out. Freaked me out. So it's gonna freak you out now as well. I got the creepiest vibes from this video.
We humans are
Hold on.
capable of so.
Like, why is he talking like that? Why is he talking like that?
We humans are capable of so much. We are capable of so many amazing things. But yet, it's 2023. We can fly helicopters on Mars. But yet, the minute somebody says, hi, I'm trans, I'm non-binary, I'm just different, the world, it loses its mind.
The music.
We are just simply human. And if we are allowed to be ourselves, if we are allowed to be ourselves without fear, without hatred, without anger, we are brilliant. We are astonishing. But we're just simply human. Let us.
It's just, I know the music, right? The music isn't helping there with that. But yes. Someone actually tagged a gif of Gollum in it. Now that you said his name. Or Schmeagol. Schmeagol, my precious. Yeah, him. But it's like talking like that. It's just like, what's your goal there? What's your goal with that? You want to come across as just completely psychotic, you know? Because you've done a fucking good job of it. Schmeagol. Gollum. Yeah, him. I'm doing an alright impression of him, don't I?
Be us. Don't fear us. Show us kindness and compassion. Trans Day visibility.
Stay over that fucking toilet here. But yeah, the creepy vibes are what? Great chat with Colin today. It's fun about you. About True Ireland. Who was it that someone I wanted to reach out to? Has anyone actually? Yeah, Has anyone heard from Jim? Anybody? Oh, Jim K. I haven't heard anything from them. Him and oh God, no, he's gonna eat the head off me because I forgot. I forgot her name. I forgot the lady's name. That does be with Jim. Tara, that's the one. Tara or Jim? Anyone hear from them? No, not in months. Hope he's alright. Yeah, Jim K. 40. Because he was one of those, you know, he just his general knowledge of everything was bang on, you know. It was like he clicked intellectually with him. Things he could talk about. And he could talk about anything. Jim could talk about anything. I like that as well. I'll have those people in our lives where, you know, used to know a chap in Spain, Russell. Not Russell Brand now, just Russell. He was English, but yeah, we played this. Don't know if any of us have played categories, but if your general knowledge is good, you'd be great at categories. But he was just mind blown, you know, full 12 score card every time, and he always thought of something that no one else thought of. Every fucking game that we played with it, and we played loads of games with it. You always come across those people in your life. Their wisdom is beyond their years, type of thing. Jim's one of them for me as well. Jim and Terry, yeah. You just, you know, it pops into my head now and again. Jimbo. Just hope if you are listening in, Jimbo, hope you're alright. Hope you had a good Christmas and Happy New Year to you, sir. You had what? What was that? You had a lad at the store yesterday selling bread. Fucking homeless with this. I fell into that one. I think, you know, it's one of the things that you're warned of, isn't it? These people that say they come in the name of God, and the last year, well, he did like his tours and everything were like, you know, he even called them the Return of the Messiah, didn't he? Remember all them shows that he did years ago? And he was kind of seen as this guru of some sort. But he's really stepped up the game and sort of tried to convince us all that he's converted to Christianity, and, you know, and it's, you always want be wary of the ones that say they come in the name of God. So, I mean, that's a big red flag for me, isn't it? You know, personally, that's a big red flag for me. It's just a sorry thought to think that there's going to be people in the world, you know, individuals in the world that will hang on every word that man is saying. And I know, because I know who he's connected to, you know, like the chap went out with a bleeding Rothschild, went out with a Rothschild or a Rockefeller, one or the other. He's been in the movie industry, he's been involved in the music industry with MTV and all that, you know. So he's one of those fake idols that you're warned about. Russell Brand, fake idol worship. And like I was saying there, because I looked into him, looked into his background, looked into all of that stuff, everything that was sort of significance tied into him. And one was an image of him where he had a meeting with Yuval Noah that got mentioned there about in the Panama Canal thing. and he's like kissing the forehead of Yuval Noah, which told me fucking everything that I needed to know about him. That was, wasn't it? It was talking about someone's daughter, wasn't it, or something like that? I remember something like that. The egg brat. Yeah, they were sharing that one too. The boiled egg test, huh? Do you know how I heard of the boiled egg test was it was Tupac's second manager again. Suge Knight. It was Suge Knight. It was an interview Suge Knight did with one of these American radio hosts, and he talked about the boiled egg game that was tied into what they all get up to. That if you could shove a boiled egg up your rectum and it didn't break, you were ready. But if it didn't break, you weren't ready yet. That's fucking mad. And there's a still image of the time he's been seen with Russell Brand has been seen with Diddy multiple times, a few times on camera, talking to the camera. Two of them hugging each other, talking to the camera, saying how they're going on like a man date together and all this stuff. Like it's all there. It's all there for people to see. But there's also a still image of Russell Brand with his left arm over the old diddler, and he has a boiled egg in his hand and he's smiling, looking at the camera. It's the weirdest fucking thing. A soggy biscuit thing, yeah, stuff like that, yeah. Shared culpability. This is what it is, Joe. It's shared culpability that links all of them. I was trying to think of it earlier. I remember the C word and I couldn't think of it. It's culpability. Shared culpability. That's what links all these freaks. It's much easier for them to do the things they do because they share the baby oil. It's quick. That was quick. But yeah. Shared culpability. KO in the house. Welcome, KO. What's the story? So yeah, I showed you that Sky fella. I've seen as well. There's like 3 or 4 videos of. Actually, here I want to show you this thing. Now, actually, can I just share the sound? I don't know if I can actually share this for copyright. What I'll do is any ones that I don't think I can't share on here, I'll just go like that. I'll just drop it in real quick, and then just click on it, and then you can bookmark it and watch it later on or something. But give that one a look-see later. It was one of the doctors / researchers that didn't go along with everything, let's say. I also came across this one of, just to show you the lengths that the establishment went to. This is Blue Mountain Ski Resort, right? And a man with a medical exemption was assaulted by staff for not wearing one. This is how crazy people got during this time, demanding mandatory masks for an outdoor activity. Madness. And when you're watching it, it does make you feel a bit weird. Just to see how bad some people got, you know? And even just random bystanders were bleeding, jumping in on this poor chap. You can even like hear them in the background. Get him off! Get him off! It's like a fucking witch trial hunt or something.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Look at that guy. Just some random dude comes in, do you know? It's how crazy it made some people that they thought because that individual wasn't wearing a face nappy that he was a threat to everyone. But yet they're happy to go over and assault him. You know, you're afraid of him breathing open in the open air, but yet you've no fear of going up to him and wrestling him to the ground. Like I said, make it make sense. Yeah, I know this is in 2022, but I'm just saying this is how mad people went.
Just watch. Just watch.
They're manhandling him like. And you know, I think as well, it gave these people here, our police forces, it gave them like some sort of shield. You know, it empowered them and shielded them at the same time. Most of them just thought they could do what the hell they wanted. And if you said no, you got bleeding manhandled. Man, I just hope he sued them for everything that they had. Just to show you how bad shit got at one stage, but yeah. What's this? Sorry, just going through chat here. Power of propaganda, for sure. It made them react that bad just because he didn't have a face nappy on him. They did as well. Remember, they tried to say, well, like if you're medically exempt, then it's all right. But sure, he was medically exempt. It didn't look all right to me. So that was all a load of malarkey. Malarkey, dropping the old words out. Yeah, seriously unprofessional. Same here. Or I lie. I wore one once. Had to go into the hospital at one stage. Not for myself, going visiting someone. That's the only way I've been getting to see them. So once. It's mad looking back, isn't it? How you know how some certain people reacted to everything. It was like a witch trial for some people who dare not wear a bleeding nappy on their face. Yeah, that's what I said, Tuffy. That random dude that just comes in out of nowhere, you know. He's probably now the last few months. Bear in mind that was in 2022 when that happened. But he's probably one of them lads out there now raising the bleeding Palestinian flag, saying refugees welcome here. Do you know? Not mad. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but there's a good chance of it. So many flippers and floppers. You just wear a scarf. Yeah. Well, that as well. There was like some places that were saying, Well, just even while you're in the shop, just can you pull your top up over your thing? You know, some places are saying that to people. It's like it was just to get people to submit. That's what it was all about. Just get people to submit. And it doesn't matter which way. Like even if they don't have a proper, I forget what that name is for that PPE gear. Like I forget what the actual whatever that mass number is. If it's not an actual one of them, then just get them to put something over their face. You know, get people to do it though. Make sure they put something over their nose and their mouth. Submit, damn you. Oh, it's lost the chat. Why did they just let people be like canaries, you know? They use the birds in the mine shafts. Yeah. Like, I was more that there were a lot of people, when all of this was like at the height of it, there were still people out there saying, look, take it if you want to take it, don't take it if you don't want to take it. Which, like, I know some of you out there might say, like, it's not right to say, well, that's not right way of looking at it. But at the same time, you have to think, you're not going to, what's the saying, Frankie drops in, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. You know, that's what else are you going to do? You can't force people. So there were, but that wasn't enough. There was more people saying, take this for the greater good than that was against it, or those that were neutral, you know? Because it's so much fun, and it literally came from the top. It came from the top down. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in here, but when it first got announced and launched, I was like, this is the start of something that's not going to end very well. Either stuff happens on a large scale and it affects the psyche in a way to make change, or the same people that try to persuade the entire world to go along with it and start something that's more devastating just so they don't have to face the consequences of what they unleashed. You know? I was even thinking that when this happened. It was like, well, what else can they do now? You know? What else can they do now? Like, this is a big card they're after playing with this. And yeah, if the truth came out and did affect the mass psyche, like I said, there'd be one to where they just like pack up everything and fuck off to wherever this, like some people say New Zealand, Stan, all these different places around the world where they're just gonna fuck off over there and just start a world war or something. You know? What's this? You're not well or something? I forgot. I can't. I can only see certain amount of the chat. 30,000 on the street during COVID crowd. Was so big we took up both sides. The Lithium barriers were full. The side the crowd was too big to control. I remember being in there for the pass that they wanted to introduce. Remember, like they did get to a point where they had certain people that if they worked in town or from town, that they were given passes by their managers. They were given a piece of paper with a pass to say, oh yeah, this person can come into work in town. And they even got to a point where they were checking buses, you know? They were checking buses to make sure people were wearing a mask on the buses and all this stuff. But I went into the anti-pass one, which was the thing that they were trying to pass on a more, it would have made it a more regular basis, like they did kind of with the USC, you know, sneak it in there and then it becomes a permanent thing. but the anti-COVID pass, there was more than it was. Man, there was like I made it. There was close to like 55,000 that time I went into town for that, and we went all the way through town and back on ourselves, did a big loop. It was a good sorry, it was a good 50,000, 55,000 there that one that I went and talking about. And, sorry, and the energy is electric. You know, the Irish spirit at this. It's harnessing that though, isn't it? You know, and turning it into something we're getting a result out of it. That's what we all want. Anyway, what's up? You just I had a ton more bookmarks to play and go through. I just keep myself going off on one. I'm going to use the loo, so I'm going to play a video. I showed you stuff that you married earlier on, didn't I? Showed you the multicultural. Here, watch the rest of this guy in the Irish customs actually, just while I use the loo.
From Paris. And were you anywhere before Paris?
Customs Officer Bruce is inspecting.
Because, as I said to you, you prefix every answer with a think or a thought, and then you're telling me you flew all the way from Johannesburg to Paris for the civil engineering meeting. Who are you meeting in Paris?
Mr. Francis.
You haven't got a clue, have you? Just be honest with me. You haven't got a brace. You're telling me lies, buddy. The gentleman I'm talking to, he kept slipping up, putting a think and a thought, and I'm not sure. The two of them are coming to a civil engineering meeting. Neither has documentation to show that they're civil engineers, but they were going to stay in Paris. They were going to go to a meeting with civil engineers. They hadn't got a hotel booked in Paris either. And as well as that, the information I've received in the last few minutes as well is that the Garda National Immigration Bureau are not letting them through either.
Back in Dublin Airport, Customs Officer Bruce is inspecting the bag of a passenger who has travelled with his wife over 5,500 miles from Johannesburg via Paris.
Who are you meeting in Paris?
Mr. Francis.
You haven't got a clue, have you? Just be honest with me. You haven't got a brace. You're telling me lies, buddy.
They appear to have paid for their flights using someone else's credit card details, and Bruce is determined to get to the bottom of it.
What's in this? Maize flowers, eh? How much maize flowers here? How much maize flowers there? There's at least 7 or 8 kilos.
About 6 of them.
Yeah, why are you bringing that with you for?
Sorry?
Why did you bring that with you?
No, we thought of some point to it because that's our traditional meal.
Yeah, but where? Hold on. Where are you going to stay? B&B. So what are you bringing that with you for? But you can't cook in the B&B. They won't let you cook that in the B&B.
Some places you can do some steps for this.
Where? Come here, do you know what? I swear to God, you're just a spoofer. You're just telling me spoofs. You're telling me lies, buddy. Straight away. You're telling me that you're a civil engineer and you brought that all the way from Johannesburg to Shartsegal. About 8 kilos of maize flour. You're not giving me any honest straight answers at all. Straight away. You're making me a little bit suspicious of you, okay? Just give me that bag out the shoulder, please. Are you going to give me any honest answers today at all, eh?
Sure, yeah.
Are you going to tell me the truth or anything?
I'm telling you the truth.
No, you're not. You're not telling me the truth. This is your bag. Did you pack this bag yourself?
Yes.
What do you need the dollars for?
To
dollars to pay for what? Upkeep. Upkeep here.
Yeah, anywhere.
But you know you're in Europe. We use euro in Europe. So where'd you get dollars?
Because we can't find euros in Malawi. They cannot give us dollars, so we can change euros.
Okay, $2,100. Where'd you get this?
From a bank in Malawi.
What bank? What bank? What's the name of the bank?
Opportunity Bank.
What's it?
Opportunity Bank.
Opportunity Bank. Yes. And when did you get them?
I forgot it, but it's
you don't remember anything. You have a very bad memory. Are you happy?
He's fucking. He's dead, boys.
Do me a favor. You bring that around and ask them, could they tell you that's false? Yeah. Thanks. Now that lady officer just has one of them. I need to make sure that it's okay? Thank you. There's the cards, Eddie. There's the cards. Yes. They're cloned credit cards. They're yours. What would you say if I told you they were cloned? They're not real. They're not real. No, they're not. No, they're not. Your flights today were booked with fraudulent credit cards. Your flights today were booked with fraudulent credit cards. No. Did you book the flights with these cards? The Barclays card, it's a cloned credit card. It's a false credit card. Yes, I don't believe it. Okay. Eddie? Okay. Empty your pockets out on the table for me, please. Unfortunately, yeah. You're going to a civil engineering meeting with 8 kilos of maize flour, and the meeting is called off at the last minute, and you have to come to Dublin, and you're not a bit upset about it. Give me a break, like.
No flies on that man as well, huh? No flies on him. Opportunity Bank. No. Just one of the multiple scams, you know. Remember the times we've heard stories of certain groups getting arrested, walking as this foreign entity, you know, and it's always certain countries in Africa for some reason. It's quite corrupt. Who would have thunk it? What do you all say that? Plot twist: the black fella's now working at the airport. He's the security at the airport now. But you know, yeah, it's no nonsense. That's what we need there. Asking the right questions, catching them out like he was. It's just that we don't have enough of him. I don't know if do people know if he still works there or not? The airport. I remember seeing him a few years ago on the documentary. Bruce the rat carrier. He gets 6 months just for calling him a spoofer now. They'd probably cry some NGO fed line. Do you know the way that seems to be a thing that's creeped in with them? Yeah, most of them are just drop the old NGO lines now to people. If they're confronted with something or they get stuck in an awkward situation for themselves, they just either do the race or, you know, your country's made up of refugees, all this blatant malarkey. Twice a one night malarkey. Yeah, that's where most of them are going to be hurt. That's who's going to hire most of them from. Most of them are going to be bleeding the new guard of recruits. Yeah, I showed you. People know Anthony Casey, used to be in the Irish Freedom Party. A lot of people here know him. He was introducing the Community Register of Responsibility. Don't know if people seen this. He put it up there on the 26th. He said we'll start the register for every county. I know how some people might see that or feel about that. Our town to be rotated to those who want to help fight for Ireland. So you can have a listen to this by Mr. Anthony Casey. There's probably a few people that seen it already, but
let me share with you my idea of the register of responsibility. The church, like the ones I'm in now,
don't copyright that, please.
Are all running the risk of aging out. The priests will age out, and these buildings will become something else. The doors will close, and our Christian culture and heritage will be destroyed. I'd like to rotate a register of responsibility to every town and every county of Ireland. Why and what would this mean? Well, anyone interested could take back these buildings for their own community. They could write down if they want to do the groundwork, clean the gutters, maintain the graveyards, keep the doors open through fundraising or community involvement, a few days a week for candles and prayers. And maybe we can look at biblical sermons by people who don't need to marry the Church of the Catholic Roman Empire. Maybe people can come in here and do biblical study. Maybe people aren't interested, but at least there'll be a register of people in certain communities that would be. I think it's imperative to keep our Irish heritage and Christian culture alive. So let's rotate a register of responsibility, which may grow in its function. It may grow to electing your own representatives, people who are actually elected and not selected. It may grow to hunting clubs. It may grow to people bargaining. Whatever it is, let's start taking back control of our communities. It's a radical change, but we are facing a radical crisis of the priests aging out in this country, and these buildings will be taken back. They already are being taken back. So if you want to keep Christianity alive in this country, let's have a real conversation about it. So, off my own bat, I will start this register of responsibility with the first order being who wants to stand up for their churches in their localities, who wants to take back control of their Christian heritage. Let's start. And when the time comes that your priest passes away and there's no one to replace him, then the community can absorb the church, keep it for the Irish people, and do what they want with it, so that we always have a place to worship in our country, unlike funding anonymous mosques.
You see, that's
So let's start.
That's what I think he's trying to get ahead of here, is because we've all seen the videos coming out of other parts of Europe, England, France, Belgium, where they're doing church conversions, you know, like converting them from a Christian church into a mosque. I've seen it a good few times now. And they just basically go in and fucking desecrate the burial grounds, these graves that were there, and, you know, ripping up their headstones and all this stuff. Utter disrespect is astounding. It's like every level of disrespect. Disrespecting your commuting around your own city by fucking kneeling in front of you and praying and all that stuff, you know. And taking out old churches and converting them into mosques. Plus desecrating local graveyard that might be around said church. You know, I think he's clicked onto the fact that that's going to become more prominent now. And that's why he's saying this. That's just my view. But I mean, I've been saying it a long time about how they were gonna start converting the old churches into mosques. And we like other people might have different views on Anthony, but I remember like I was late coming across Mr. Casey. Like maybe personally, maybe only like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I never heard of him properly. I was just by chance on YouTube, I think. And he do the old green screen behind him and stuff like that. But he was one of those that I could listen to, and basically not like when you're watching people tell you how things are or how you should act and stuff. If you find yourself like constantly agreeing with what they're saying, I mean, you can take from that you can trust the person. Some people do. But he was one of those that I could just listen to for like long periods of time. And he wasn't one for like, he wouldn't like repeat himself multiple times. I know a lot of people do that, repeat themselves. I'm guilty of that. Repeat myself a lot, like, or say certain sayings over and over, but the church is cashing in like the rest of them. Sure they are. The Pope opening the they're calling it a portal. Did you shared something on that, didn't you? Someone put a GIF up of it. They remade a GIF, and when he opens the portal door, it's fucking Mark Zuckerberg, P Diddy, and a grey alien in behind the door. It's the funniest fucking thing. Some people are just quick. Yeah, it was just something like I said. He's one that I could listen to for long periods. Good night, John Long. Night, sir. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'm actually leaving, drifting off here. But what I'll do is for like last say 10 minutes or something, I'll take a few random questions off people before I hit me labba. So fire away, folks. Gonna pop a lemon before bed. Get all snug. Lads and ladies, he's not here by me at all. I'm messing. What are you talking about, Davina? You talking about Mousy again? I'm probably well off there, but we'll guess. Give him a, what's that? Give him a whip from me. Make sure you let him know it's in your Kerry accent. Oh, you just joined us. Welcome. I was just asking people there if they had a few questions that they would like to ask. I'm gonna finish up in a few minutes, but I'll stick around for a few random questions. Yeah, talk about Mousy. It's become a little bit of an online drama, hasn't it? You know, did it start by making Mousy learn some dance by Michael Jackson or something? Was that what it was? Am I recalling that correctly? Did you see your one that the doll applauded when knocked out by Daddy? Yeah, I did. I did, KO. Good point. I was still over in Horse at the time when it came up. Well, they had YouTube on the TV, They don't really watch TV over there. It's like YouTube or Netflix or whatever. But I'd flick onto RTE now and again. And when I did, it was Whole Mush, man. It was that bleeding O'Byrne's one again. I'm like, here we go. They're reusing her again. This is the third time now they've used her. And I was like trying to, like I did tell, the ex about this girl before, you know. And I was like, sure, she's the one. Remember, she came out against the army lad. Do you remember? And they did all that. She's like, oh yeah. And it was like she said, even she said it was a bit strange that like how she's like a what's she likened to? She likened her to being like kind of manufactured in a way, which I thought was interesting. Like, because she is an influencer for them, you know, for the NGO lefty side. And because after I said that, then I said, sure, then, do you remember when the thing happened with Conor McGregor? And I said she was one of the first out there. She was saying like, my heart bleeds for Nikita and all this stuff. And I'm like, she's a fucking actress, you know. There you go. She's acting. Look at her arm movements and all, you know. She mentioned something about the way she was walking, which I don't know if I think about it. And I'm sure there's something else to that as well. The way she was walking, this O'Byrne's one. But yeah, RTE were flaunting her around today again, having her in having a cup of tea, a glass of wine or a cup of tea or something. Will I show you? I think I can show. I'm sure I can show. It's like media, you know. It's all the media is free, isn't it? YouTube, if you strike me for this, that means you're against free media. Huh? Natasha, innit? Natasha. Burns. I'm not spelling that right. Is it B-I? So brain, isn't it? Find the clip. There's loads of like stills up of it, but I want to find the clip that I seen earlier. It was tonight, so I'll go into the latest. Oh, do you know I can't see? They have me blocked on Twitter, these buggers. So way around that. Anyway, they used. I'll share this screenshot of her, so you know who I'm talking about. This show, they used that again, and how, you know, she's gonna be. Oh, hang on. There you go. There's that. See who that was there, did you? That's how. Can you see that? What happened? Oh, sorry, folks. I was doing it again. I was getting tired. I shared the wrong thing. This one. This is the one we're talking about here.
Go from feeling like you are completely isolated and alone to using your voice and sharing your experience to then be lifted up, empowered by a community, to feel that support, to feel I'm empowering
See who that
people,
is?
people are empowering.
Did you see who that was there? There you go. There's a little Coppinger. And it's like, I do see this in America as well. How, is it that Mrs. Feinstein? Like she'd be seen as this like individual who have all these young influential females, you know, and are trying to be seen as like guiding them in some way. But I mean, they're just using them. They're just another pawn that they can use. These politicians like Coppinger and Cappinger.
I'm empowering people. People are empowering me. It's just so abundant. I finally found a voice. I found this confidence. I found this purpose. I found a meaning for my life. I felt like my pain and my suffering meant something. To go from feeling like you.
Yeah, they're reusing her again. It's like it's probably they want to put something else through. They want to pass some other bill now, linked into, using little pawns like that. O'Brien, whatever leading surname is. What's Frankie going to be roasting you for? What did you say? She needs a slap. She's a dangerous individual, man. The way they're using her, very dangerous. It's literal manipulation of people's emotions with that. That's why they're using her. Right. I'm gonna shoot off to me bed because I'm bleeding drifting here. But thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Sorry, I sound a bit because I'm just knackered. Yeah, cheers for joining tonight and keep sharing those videos. By the way, I started by saying anything that happens, any incidents that you see with these hit and runs that you see out there, share them. More awareness around events that are currently happening, and hopefully it just starts bleeding chain reaction and something. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and have a lovely sleep. And I'll see you around. Shalom.